the shape that defied time. Before empires rose, before Rome crowned its emperors, before London was a village of mud and timber, there was stone. And in the desert west of the Nile, those stones were stacked toward the sky. The pyramids. They are not merely monuments. They are questions carved in limestone. They are geometry frozen in time. They are humanity's earliest declaration of immortality. For over 4,500 years, the pyramids of Egypt have stood against sandstorms, invaders, earthquakes, and doubt. They have been worshipped, looted, measured, misunderstood, and mythologized. Yet they remain. This is their story. The world before the pyramids. To understand the pyramids, we must travel back to a world unrecognizable to us. Around 3100 BCE, the land we now call Egypt was divided. Upper Egypt in the south, Lower Egypt in the north. The Nile River, flowing from Africa's heart toward the Mediterranean, was the lifeline binding both lands together. Each year, the Nile flooded. It left behind rich black soil, turning desert into farmland. Civilization bloomed along its banks. Then came unification. A ruler known as Narmer, sometimes identified with King Menes, united Upper and Lower Egypt. For the first time, Egypt became one kingdom under a single pharaoh. And with that unification came something new. A belief that the king was not merely human, he was divine. The birth of monumental death. In early Egyptian history, rulers were buried in structures known as mastabas, flat-roofed rectangular tombs made of mud brick. But ambition grows with power. By the Third Dynasty, around 2670 BCE, a revolutionary idea emerged. A royal architect named Imhotep would transform architecture forever. Instead of building a single mastaba, he stacked them, one atop another, and thus the world's first pyramid was born. The Step Pyramid of Djoser. Location: Saqqara. Date: around 2667 to 2648 BCE. Pharaoh Djoser. Architect Imhotep. The Step Pyramid was not smooth. It rose in 6 distinct layers, like a staircase to the heavens. It was the tallest structure ever built at that time. But it wasn't just a tomb. It was part of a massive funerary complex filled with courtyards, temples, and ceremonial spaces. The design symbolized ascension, Djoser rising to join the gods in the sky. Imhotep, the mastermind behind it, would later be deified himself. In a world where architecture was still primitive, he dared to build in stone on a scale never attempted before. The experiment succeeded, and it inspired something even greater. The Age of True Pyramids. The Fourth Dynasty ushered in what historians now call the Golden Age of pyramid building. Pharaoh Sneferu, father of Khufu, was obsessed with perfection. He built not one, but 3 pyramids. The Bent Pyramid. At Dashur, builders began constructing a smooth-sided pyramid, but halfway up, the angle suddenly changes. Why? Most scholars believe the original angle was too steep. Structural instability forced engineers to reduce the incline mid-construction. The result? A bent silhouette. A mistake carved in stone. The Red Pyramid. Sneferu learned from failure. His next attempt, the Red Pyramid, achieved what historians consider the first successful true pyramid: smooth sides, stable structure, monumental scale. The Pyramid Age had arrived, and then came the greatest of them all. The Great Pyramid of Giza. Pharaoh Khufu. Date: around 2580 to 2560 BCE. Height original: 146.6 meters or 481 feet. For nearly 4,000 years, the Great Pyramid was the tallest man-made structure on Earth. It contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks. Each block weighs between 2 and 15 tons. Some granite blocks inside weigh over 70 tons. The precision is staggering. The base is nearly perfectly level. The structure is aligned almost exactly with true north. And yet, no detailed construction manual survived. This absence has fueled centuries of speculation. Aliens, lost civilizations, advanced forgotten technologies. But archaeological evidence tells a more human story. Workers' villages discovered near Giza revealed that the pyramids were not built by slaves, but by skilled laborers. Farmers worked during the Nile's flood season when fields were submerged. They were fed, housed, organized. The pyramids were not built by magic. They were built by civilization. The workers of the afterlife. Excavations uncovered bakeries capable of producing thousands of loaves of bread per day, evidence of medical care, burial sites for workers. These were not disposable lives. They were participants in a sacred mission. Because pyramids were not simply tombs, they were resurrection machines. The ancient Egyptians believed in the Ka, the spiritual double. If the body was preserved and rituals performed, the soul could live eternally. The pyramid served as a gateway, a cosmic launch pad. The shape itself may symbolize the rays of the sun god Ra, a frozen beam of sunlight.
The Sphinx and the Solar Mystery. Guarding the Giza Plateau lies the Great Sphinx, body of a lion, face of a king. Likely carved during Khafre's reign, it gazes eastward toward the rising sun. Over millennia, wind and sand eroded its body. At times it was nearly buried entirely, yet it endured. The Sphinx reinforces the central idea of pyramid construction. Kings were not just rulers, they were cosmic beings.
Decline of the Pyramid Age. After the reign of Menkaure, pyramid construction continued, but gradually declined in scale and quality. Why? Several factors: economic strain, political instability, decentralization of power, rising cost of monumental construction. Later pyramids became smaller, less precise, more vulnerable to looting. By the Middle Kingdom, pyramid building resumed briefly, but never with the glory of Giza. Eventually, pharaohs shifted burial practices. They abandoned pyramids and chose secrecy instead.
The Valley of the Kings. Instead of monumental structures, New Kingdom pharaohs carved tombs deep into cliffs, hidden, concealed, protected. Ironically, many were still robbed, but the age of pyramid dominance had ended. Yet the pyramids themselves remained, silent, watching civilizations rise and fall.
Rediscovery and obsession. For centuries, outsiders saw the pyramids as relics of mystery. Greek historians like Herodotus speculated wildly about their construction. During Napoleon's invasion of Egypt in 1798, scholars documented the pyramids scientifically for the first time. Modern archaeology in the 19th and 20th centuries stripped away fantasy and revealed reality.
Still, mystery lingers. How were the largest stones lifted? What internal chambers remain undiscovered? What symbolic codes are embedded in their geometry? Even today, scanning technologies reveal hidden voids within the Great Pyramid. The story is not finished.
Stone that refuses to die. The pyramids are older than Christianity, older than Islam, older than classical Greece. They were ancient when Cleopatra lived, and they may stand long after our own cities crumble. They are not just Egyptian monuments. They are human monuments, proof that even at the dawn of civilization, humanity dreamed in stone and built for eternity.